be able to submit it. As far as like application process, it's actually quite simplified, especially for your industry type. We could submit an application, and it would just be 3 months of bank statements. And then again, it would be a 5-year term. And then for the line amount that you're looking for, it would be $350 for the fee.
What's up guys, Colin Matthew here, and in today's video I'm going to teach you how to get approved for a business line of credit. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I'm going to be sharing a bonus lender as well as a $50,000 business line of credit approval. If you're new to the channel, my name is Colin Matthew and I'm a business credit coach who has personally been approved for over $450,000 in business credit card, business line of credit, and business loans for my business. And I've helped over 700 entrepreneurs and business owners just like you acquire and get approved for business credit. If you want to learn more about working with me, click the link in the description below. So recently I was approved for a $50,000 business line of credit. And we now average over $1 million in business line of credit approvals every single month with all of my students. And I know just how useful a business line of credit could be to a business owner. And that's why I'm making this video. So what is a business line of credit? A business line of credit is essentially just a revolving loan that gives you access to a fixed amount of capital. Now, here's why I love business lines of credit. Out of the 3 major lending products offered by banks, business credit cards, loans, and lines of credit, the business line of credit is my favorite, and for a few reasons. A business loan is a one-time lump sum, and the interest and payments are due immediately, whether or not you use all or some or none of the business loan. Whereas with a revolving line of credit, such as a business credit card or a business line of credit, you are approved to use up to a certain limit, but you only pay for what you use. And as you continue to pay it back, you can continue to use that revolving credit line again. Whereas when the loan is paid back, there's no more credit available for you. Another reason why I like business lines of credit is that it has better interest rates than a business credit card. These can range from prime rate as low as 2%, and they could go as high as 20%. But on average, most of the business lines of credit approved by banks, in my experience, are anywhere between 6 and 12%, which is better than a business credit card. In a way, a business line of credit is essentially a combination of a business credit card and a business loan. It gives you the flexibility of a revolving account and the ability to continue to use the credit line as you pay it back. And it gives you the interest rates and limits of a loan. To top it all off, guys, with a business line of credit, you get easy access to your cash. You could simply transfer money from your business line of credit over to your business checking account and spend it as you please. Whereas with credit cards, there are a lot of workarounds to get the cash off the cards, and these often incur fees. So to sum it all up, a business line of credit is one of the best business lending products out there. You could be approved with little to no documentation, and it has better interest rates and higher limits than cards with easy access to your cash. So now you might be wondering, how do you get approved for a business line of credit? Well, I'm glad you asked. Many banks will require all 25% or more owners to personally guarantee the business line of credit. This typically means that they're going to perform either a soft pull or a hard pull on your personal credit. And typically what they're looking for is a 680 or higher fair credit score, along with no major derogatories, charge-off, collection, repo, or bankruptcy, no recent late payments in the last 12 months, less than 3 or 4 inquiries per bureau, as well as keeping your balances of 30% or below on all of your revolving credit lines. Lastly, the majority of banks do require that you be 2 years in business minimum in order to apply for a business line of credit, but some banks it's as low as 1 year and some banks it's as much as 3 years. On average though, the vast majority of banks do require 2 years in business. And my thought process around this is that 80% of businesses fail in the first 2 years, so banks are minimizing their risk by only lending to businesses that are 2 years or older. Now, don't get discouraged if you have a new business. Plenty of banks hand out 0% interest business credit cards, even to brand new businesses. And there are some options for businesses that are 6 months or older with fintech companies such as Bluevine, On Deck, or Cabbage. If you were 6 months in business and you have 3 months of bank statements showing revenue, you can often be approved for a business line of credit, even as a newer business. Now, keep in mind, this does come at a price, and that's typically crappier repayment terms like weekly or higher interest rates as well. The best business lines of credit credit with the best repayment options and lowest interest rates are often going to be found at your local banks. Now, there's generally 3 types of business line of credit applications: no doc, low doc, and full doc. No doc means no documentation, baby. That just means that they're going to run a credit check for you, and they could approve you typically up to $25 or even $50 or even $100,000 with just a credit check with no proof of making revenue or financial documentation. Now, keep in mind, no doc is typically only up to $50,000, whereas with some banks, it does go up to $100,000. Next is low doc. Low doc could be 3 months of bank statements or 1 year of tax return. Some banks offer a combination of no doc and low doc. For example, some banks will offer no doc for $50K and below, but low doc, like 3 months bank statements for $50K and above, and then even full doc for $100K and above. Lastly is full doc. Full doc means full documentation. This could range anywhere between 1 to 3 years of both personal and business tax returns and a variety of other financial documents such as profit and loss, balance sheet, financial statements, all this mountain of paperwork that will drive you and your accountant crazy. Now, another reason why I love no doc and low doc business lines of credit isn't just to avoid the mountain of paperwork and to stress out and things like that, or because my business doesn't make revenue. Another reason why is that I find that a lot of banks that offer no doc and low doc are far more generous than banks that require full documentation. Some banks will even ask for documentation for a business credit card. In my experience, if a bank is this conservative, they're also typically conservative with how much credit they approve you for. They're not very generous and they're not worth building a relationship with. If you're looking for a truly no doc business line of credit, in my experience, you're going to have to look through your local banks. So you're probably wondering at this point, how do I find out what banks offer no doc and low doc business lines of credit? Great question. One way is to browse the bank's website and navigate over to the business lending products. Head over to the page for the business line of credit and you'll find a variety of information about applying. Sometimes these banks' websites will say streamlined application or simplified application process. Sometimes it'll say quick same-day decision and next-day business funding. These are all great indicators of a potential no doc or low doc business line of credit. As you can see, this bank here says that for amounts of $50,000 and below, receive a same-day decision and next-day business funding, whereas with $50,000 and above limits, you will have to hop on the phone with a loan officer and likely provide more documentation. Another way is to give a phone call to the bank's loan officer to discuss the application process and what documentation is required. Every day I make an effort to reach out to a new bank, to call them and find out if they offer no doc or low documentation programs so I can add them to my lenders list, which I share with all of my clients and students. And recently I gave a call to Associated Bank. I spoke with the business loan officer and she let me know that they can approve business lines of credit up to $100K with just 3 months of business bank statements. Yeah.
Thank you for calling Associated Bank. You've reached Renata on a recorded line. How can I help you?
Hi, my name's Colin and I just own a marketing company. I'm looking for a bank to do business with. Also looking for a perhaps some financing and capital so I can grow. So I did have some questions about some of your guys' business lending products as I try to make a decision on, what bank I'm looking to open an account with.
Okay, perfect. And how long have you been in business?
3 years.
Are you in the process of looking for a loan right now?
Yes, I'm looking for a business line of credit.
Okay. And what would you use your line of credit for?
For advertising.
To cover like expenses or actually to market your business?
To market my business.
Okay. And what size loan are you looking for or line?
Anywhere from 25 to 50,000.
Okay. And then how much annual gross revenues did you have for last year, let's say?
650,000.
Okay. So we do have lines of credit that we are able to work with. Our line of credit is a 5-year term, and we would be able to submit it. As far as like application process, it's actually quite simplified, especially for your industry type. We could submit an application and it would just be 3 months of bank statements. And then again, it would be a 5-year term. And then For the line amount that you're looking for, it would be $350 for the fee.
Excellent. Sounds exactly what I'm looking for. So am I able to apply for that without having a checking account, or do I still have to open that?
So you absolutely can apply without having a checking account with us. We do require 3 months of bank statements, and that's what we take a look at. And then, of course, ID information.
I submitted 3 months of business bank statements and received a hard credit check on my Equifax bureau and was approved for a $50,000 business line of credit. So to recap, a business line of credit is essentially a revolving loan with a fixed amount of capital, and it has better interest rates and higher limits than business credit cards, with the flexibility of a revolving credit line so that you can continue to use the credit as you pay it back. And it comes with easier access to your cash. Most banks require you to personally guarantee on behalf of your sole proprietorship, LLC, or corporation with a 680 or higher fair FICO score. There are 3 types of business line of credit applications: no doc, low doc, and full doc. And these can range anywhere between just a credit check or 3 months of bank statements, or even a mountain of financial documents. You can find out which banks offer no doc, low doc, or full doc by reaching out to the loan officer and asking them about the required documentation for the application process, or by browsing their website for key indicators such as same-day decision and next-day business funding. If you'd like to tap into my lenders list and be personally guided and coached through all of your business credit approvals, click the link in the description below to learn more about working. So that pretty much wraps up this video, guys. I really hope you found this valuable, and if you did, lightly tap the like button so we can share this information with other entrepreneurs and business owners so they can gain access to capital for their businesses. And be sure to subscribe for more videos on credit. This is Colin Matthew, and I'll see you guys on the next one.